when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our new world. All the lions try to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand we did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning, this is your sign that you can't go running high. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our new world. All the lions try to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. All the lions try to hide away from the scars we made. Welcome to
And welcome back to Nerd TV for another Global Racing League Truck Series race live here on Nerd TV and the Nashville Superspeedway 1.5 mile track as we kick off this countdown to green presented by Icon Apparel Company. And we're going to go nighttime racing here tonight. 150 laps around this I said 1.5, but it's correction 1.33 mile. I know why they call it super speedway, but I will still never accept it because it's just not. But here's the weather on the track: 71 degrees tonight, 98% humidity. How come when we go to Daytona and Talladega, we don't get nearly that? But we go to Tennessee and we're at 100%. I doubt it. But here we are. This is the fictional world and simulation stuff, and that's it. Partly cloudy. And I think that says 10, if not 10 to 11 mile an hour of winds coming from the northeast. That could maybe play a factor. These trucks might feel it. We'll find out here as this race progresses tonight. My name is Jeremy Stanley, aka Jay Swifty. To my right hand side, partner of many hats, many abilities, many things, including being wrecked by teammates. Dustin Watson, what's going on, man?
Oh, being wrecked by teammates now. It happens. It's plate racing. But no, we are here at Nashville, and I'm like you. It pains me to call it a super speedway. It's not a damn super speedway.
It's not.
Not
No,
even
sir.
in NASCAR's old terminology, a super speedway was technically anything 2 miles or larger. So yes, that meant that Auto Club in Michigan in the old categorization were dubbed technically a super speedway. But I mean, it's a unique track. It's a fun track. It's an abrasive track. Okay, this is a concrete surface on this thing. It chews the tires up, and that is going to be probably the biggest struggle bus for these drivers tonight is tire management and keeping those tires together in one piece.
Yeah, you watched me do a race here just the other night in the Xfinity cars, and it's interesting. The line here is way different than any other track. Turn 1, turn 2, it's sweeping, but then it gets very loose. Turn 3 and 4, you can get very tight easy. Tight turn for a while. It's kind of like Dover in a way. It just kind of sneaks up on you with the sharp exit point of the corner. It feels, it's almost a mile and a half, but it feels completely different compared to your standard ones like Kansas, Charlotte, Kentucky, Texas. They don't represent nearly anything like this track. Shape-wise, yes, but everything else, no. And so it's just way different. And pit road exit, you exit off of turn 2, way off on the access road. You don't go right up to the track like you would normally. There's a lot of different things here. It's also concrete, so there, naturally that abrasive surface that Dustin talked about is going to show its face here. And but Dustin, it can produce great racing. We've seen it in real life. Every once in a while, we'll see it in the virtual world. And I got high hopes for this one.
Yeah, I mean, passing can be tough at this track, and I mean, you explained it best. I mean, this track here, to try to explain it, would be like if you took a Kansas or Kentucky, one of those tracks, and merged it with a Dover and a Bristol. You take the shape of a Kansas or Kentucky, and you put the track surface of a Dover or Bristol on there, and the weird baby that would create is something along the lines of Nashville Superspeedway. Passing is, can be tough here, especially if those tires are abrasive. Drivers were told in drivers' meetings that you don't have to make the move at the moment that it's there. Take your time on making the move. Don't do anything too abrasive on that or, too sudden, because it's going to cost people that. So drivers got to be smart on this. They have to pick and choose their opportunities. Just because the opportunity presents itself does not mean that you should take that opportunity at that point in time. You got to be smart about it.
We have 20 seconds left before qualifying, or practice rather, is over. And that's when qualifying will begin. Just to recap the point situation, we have 11 starts. Today marks the 12th start of the 2025 season. Top 5 resembles Bobby Mantle P1, who has a 26-point lead over 2 weeks ago's winner, Jacob Grant. And then you have third place Stephen Hayes, JJ McCoy, and Dustin Franklin. That is your current top 5. Jacob Grant's doing great this season. Dustin Franklin, he's having an excellent start here after the first 11 weeks of the season. And there's the checkered flags. We are going to qualifying, so we're going to get our cameras off your screen. We're going to go right along with the fastest guy in practice, one of 2 trucks, Dustin, that has hit a 29.3 second lap time, and that's going to be Michael Hayes. But in the meantime, we got second place, Joshua Altis, driver of the 94. I think we're going to take a ride around Nashville with this guy.
Yeah, and I mean, you've talked about. I mean, there's drivers that are having fantastic seasons so far. You mentioned Jacob Grant, one of only 2 repeat winners this season alone. The only other repeat winner being Tyler Honeycutt, who is not in attendance tonight, which he did make mention in a couple of the times that we had him up in the booth for the Nerd TV podium, that he was not going to be able to catch every race with schedule conflicts and everything else. But I mean, Jacob Grant's having a fantastic run. Dustin Franklin, we seem to keep calling his name, and we keep calling more and more drivers' names throughout the season as well that keep finding themselves in the top 10, top 5, and that Nerd TV podium. So it's still a lot of racing to go, Jeremy, but already some drivers really showing their toughness this early in the season.
Yeah, we got a couple repeats finally in the bag. We're starting to see who's cycling their way up to the top 5. And Dustin, we already have 17 live viewers on YouTube. Of course, Michael Thorpe early on the chats. I think he's the first commenter every single video.
Every time. And I have to inject on this one here because I know you don't get these. But Brian Fine says, "Nerds, miss you, fam." We miss you too, buddy. Glad to have you on board.
Brian Fine, if you're not racing on a Sunday and you have time, Global Racing League would love your attention. There's actually 3 slots open on these teams' listings. I got 3 open slots between 2 different teams. So if you have that 57 ready to go in a truck, full send it, bud. Let's bring it on Sundays. And we're going to ride now with, I think this is your fastest guy?
Yep, Mike
practice.
Hayes.
Mike Hayes in the number 1 was P1 in practice. He's got 2.5 minutes to mark his 2 laps here.
And he's going to have to top his brother.
Loosey-goosey. He ain't going to get this one. He's going to have to save the good lap for lap 2.
Yeah, going to have to save the good lap for lap 2, and he's going to have to best his brother. Well, would have, but Michael Thorpe Jr. posted a 29.35, puts him top of the charts right now. Stephen Hayes currently in P2. EJ Luna, P3. John Howard, P4, and Don Blazer is P5. That is your current top 5. Drivers still out on the track taking time. Callum Bailey, Mike Hayes, Brody Marinko, Shane Wielden, all out on the track, putting down times right now.
Still filing in top 17 times look like are posted, maybe even 18 or 19. As the stats are still filing in here, Michael Thorpe, Stephen Hayes, EJ Luna, Abram Ghostin, and John Howard currently in your top 5 positions available. So we have a minute and a half left in this qualifying session. This is Brody Marinko, driver the number 2, lap number 1, loose off turn 4. That's going to slow down his entire turn 2 lap. That's the worst corner to get loose off because you're going to lose time on your first and second lap. But he's going to have one hell of an entrance here in 1 and 2. That check marked very nicely. Let's see what he does in 3 and 4.
Yeah, he's going to have to get that 3 and 4 down. Like you said, lost time both on lap 1 and lost speed for lap 2. Much cleaner 3 and 4. Beautiful. Drop down slowly to gain that speed, crossing the line. It's going to put him P3 with a 29.42. And I believe we have Callum Bailey out on the track as well. Currently P19, and Jeff Weimer on the track. Kenny Heath also exiting pit road for his qualifying attempt.
We're going to take a look at Mr. Callum Bailey, who just crossed the line for his second lap.
Our Swedish-Scottish warrior, by the way.
There you go. Swedish-Scottish. If that's something you're not recognizing from the 2 weeks ago, well, go watch 2 weeks ago on our broadcast from North Wilkesboro, and we will fill you in on that one. As we're down to 10 seconds, Dustin. Jeff Weimer not going to complete this lap, but this is his second lap. He did not post a time on his first one, so that must have been disqualified. So this man will start in the back as 21 drivers do post time And that's it. Qualifying is over.
Qualifying is over. Michael Thorpe Jr. will take that top spot. So seeing a lot of familiar names up there in that top 5, top 10, and even that top 15 range here, Jeremy, out of the 30 drivers slotted here. 29 if you don't count Mr. Ron Holmes, who should be making his on-track return next week.
It's indeed. He just said that in the driver's meeting. Will it hold true? Well, we'll find out. But here we go. Starting lineup for tonight's Nashville SS 150. Michael Thorpe Jr., Stephen Hayes. They're going to show row 1. Row 2, Brody Marinko and EJ Luna. Row 3 will be Abram Ghostin and John Howard. Row 4, Don Blazier and Matthew Escalera. Row 5 will be Danny White and Joshua Altis. Row 6, Michael Hayes and Jonathan Gaston. Row 7, Stephen Knight, Dustin Franklin. Row 8, Shane Wielden and Caden Bullard. Row 9, Mark Sherwood and Justin LeBlanc. Row 10, Callum Bailey, Jacob Grant. Row 11, Bobby Mantle and Noah Tansman. Row 12 will be Ricky Hudgens, Anthony Emmerich. Row 13 will be Jeff Weimer, Jacob Kaplan. Row 14 should be Chuck Cobb and Patrick Gettner. And Kenny Heath will be the last driver to file out. 29 drivers. You did see Ronald Holmes' name on there in 27th. That's what Dustin just said. That's not accurate because he'll be restarting next week for his global career. Dustin, here we go. We're going to go, I think, one pace lap. It is not a short track, so it's one lap. And these things will be set off for 150 miles under the lights at Nashville.
Yeah, going to be a good one. Jeremy, you know me. I love night racing. If it was up to me, every single race would be done at night. But that's me growing up, going to the racetracks on the local dirt tracks on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. It was always under the lights, always at night. I don't know. The paint jobs just seem way cooler under the lights. The race in action, you see the sparks and particles and everything. Should be a good one. I tell you what, Jeremy. Again, we talked about some names that are up there. Michael Thorpe Jr., season winner already this season, has got a race win, as does Stephen Hayes. You got EJ Luna's up there still chasing his first win, and Brody Marinko, been bridesmaid a number of times this season already, still chasing his first one in that deuce.
I have a soundboard clip for the nighttime.
There you go, and I cannot agree more.
That's right, going off into turn 3. Pace truck will come down after turn 4. Michael Thorpe Jr. leading the way, P1 here for the pole tonight. And I'm going to take a quick look at the stat page. If it does show it, no, it does not. I was hoping it would give me how many poles he had, but they don't log that here at Global. But here we go. Pace truck down, throttles at the ready. Green flag, here we go, 150 laps, 1.33 mile track, and it's going to be either chaos or calmness. We'll settle out this field here in the opening laps, and we're going to go three wide. Turn one for the race lead. Chaos is the word.
Stephen Hayes backed out of that quick as could be, but yeah, they wasted no time. 3 wide before they even hit turn 2. If that tells you anything, driver's going to be going. Stephen Hayes back on the attack underneath Brody Marinko, who just pushed it 3 wide. Little loose there for the deuce coming out of turn 4, but was able to hold on to it. But Jeremy, looks like a lot of the driving now is going to go kind of single file until you get back here around that 8th position right now. Danny White fighting alongside Escalera, and here comes Mike Hayes, your fastest in practice, trying to move forward.
Trucks to front getting loosey-goosey. 3 wide on the back straightaway here. Number 1, Michael Hayes trying to make some ground up, going for the 2-for-1 on the inside. Does make it happen over Danny White and Don Blazier. Quick work between those two. Now here's the 94. Mr. Joshua Altis trying to sneak through here. Door closed. Danny Miner pulls to the inside. Oh, Danny White shoves up the driver of the 11, Don Blazier, up into turn 1, turn 2. This is where it can get tricky. 94 a little loose, keeps it going, and he's gonna not be able to keep the side-by-sideness as they go single file for the most part on lap 3.
Yeah, single file Escalera there. You've seen started moving to the inside of the 72 of Jonathan Gaston, trying to move himself one step closer to that top 10 as he's down 4 spots from where he started. So rough start for the driver of the 43, Matthew Escalera, as he dropped outside of the top 10, trying to work his way back in. But looks like Don Blazer trying to look on the inside, Jeremy. But for the most part now, this is what we were talking about. Drivers going to have to pick and choose their opportunities. A lot of this racing now, single file, even all the way up at the front. You still got the 34 of Thorpe Jr. leading the way, but Stephen Hayes nipping at the tailpipes right now.
Got some side-by-side racing back for 20th place, except for this guy right here. 3rd place, Brody Marinko, trying everything to get to 2nd and ultimately maybe even the race lead, because he's got some really fast trucks ahead of him here. Michael Thorpe in the 34 this year, Dustin. He has been a truck to highlight. That team, Lazy Lizard, they've got Michael hooked up. He's been so fast, and it does not surprise me anymore to see him up at the front because he's just consistently there.
No, he's Full Throttle Motorsports. Not Lazy
Full Throttle.
Lizard.
Sorry,
Yeah.
they have 2 blue spoilers. You're right.
Yeah.
Full Throttle Motorsports. I
Yep,
apologize.
Full Throttle. But yeah, he has been coming on strong as the season progresses. He had a good start since the first race that he was in, but he really turned the tides when he took the race victory over Brody Marinko at Martinsville. That's when he really started putting the burners on and hasn't really looked back since. He's always been up in that top 5. And Jeremy, we've been calling Global Racing League now. This is our 2nd season calling them full season. Consistency is key. That is what is going to win championships. We have seen that time and time again. We've seen J.J. McCoy do that last season. It was consistency all the way through. And that's why it's no surprise that you see a lot of these drivers up in the top 10 right now, Jeremy, and things are getting spaced out until you get right back here to just behind Escalera there, and you got all kinds of stuff going on.
That's a pretty hefty part of the field right now. Is they're still single file, but they're stacked right on top of one another here, 8 laps into the going. Currently single file down the back straightaway as you got one truck, the 18, looking to the inside. Caden Bullard going underneath Shane Wheeldon, who is number 3, but he has not changed his paint scheme, so 77 on the truck. Off into turn 4 exit, and Dustin, this place kind of races like a short track. It does not have a lot of banking, so it'll space its field out more compared to a Kansas or a Charlotte or that kind of nature. But it has just that mile and a half feel to it overall. It's a very unique track. So if you see some trucks a little more spaced out than usual, that's the case. But of course, you know how we do it in Nerd TV style. If you're top 10, the 10th place is usually the most action-packed, is the 43. Matthew Escalera way off pace from Full Throttle. What's going on with the 43?
Yeah, he got loose going in the corner there almost by the looks of it. We're going to see if we can't try to see what happened there. That would have been right around...
Oh, yeah, turn 3 got shipped. Watch the 79 right behind him. Mr. Knight himself.
Stephen Knight goes into the corner. Yep, full
Good night.
shipped and adios. Excellent save by the 43 of Escalera, though.
Yeah, real good save there. It's just a 40-degree slide. My good night comment is a double-edged sword on that one. But we stay a green flag here. Looks like right ahead of these guys there might be some side-by-side up toward the front here. And this is the 94. Trying to get around the 11. Quick work there. Now here comes Stephen Knight as well on the 79. This is a battle for 9th, 10th, and 11th, I do believe. And the 79 should be able to clear Don Blazer. There he goes. There is a little bit of a multi-groove in that second lane in turn 1 and turn 2. But it all depends on the setup and how well it rotates, especially late in the going. That can make or break the outside.
Yeah, and it really can. You know, depending on how, like you said, how the truck is set up, that is going to be key. Again, this is an open setup league. They bring their own setups from other setup shops, however the case is. But these drivers put a lot of practice in on these setups. It's a good battle here between Caden Bullard and the 18. Oh, and the 85 of Justin LeBlanc goes on the inside for the pass and then drifts up right in front of Caden. And contact made. That gets LeBlanc out of sorts. He's able to save it after a little wall contact. And now we got a four-truck battle.
It's heating up quite nicely right here. Let's see how this plays out. Almost 3 wide. LeBlanc wanted to go to the outside of Shane Wheeldon. Does not do it ultimately. He's going to back it down. Oh, a little check up there. Mark Sherwood gets bumped by the other 19 on the, or actually the 19 on the track.
Not the other one. The 19, 3 wide.
The 19, 3 wide. Mark Sherwood looking. And as he gets there, Justin LeBlanc says, nope, we're going to pull this thing down. Jacob Grant, last race winner, he's going to shoot out way out past the 85, about 3 to 4 truck lengths, really, as they're still side by side for about 17th place, roughly.
Yeah, right now Justin LeBlanc holds the 17th place. You have the 91 of Ricky Hudgens there trying to get it. Man, and LeBlanc just looks out of sorts. That's a lot of wobbles coming out of that truck. Is now they're 3 wide there momentarily. Escalera on the center, Sherwood on the top side, and they're going to siphon that one out, but still a lot of close pack racing right now in this group right here for about that 19th position.
It is definitely getting really fun to watch right now. Off into turn number 1. Here they go. Still no contact amongst these 5 drivers. Still 3 wide on the back straightaway. The 28, Noah Tansman. Can he make this corner entrance stick? Turn 3 is a little tight on the bottom entry. He's able to make it happen as LeBlanc backs it down more. The 23 Emmerich's going to use the outside. No contact. Oh, man, he keeps it out of the grass, I think, if not barely grazed it. Great save overall by every single driver involved in that little moment in time. Patrick Gettner in the 75, that was the one who got shit below the yellow line.
Yeah, and I had made a comment that it looked like the 85 of LeBlanc was just, the truck just uncomfortable. Has a hard time setting that truck into the corner. It just seems like it's loose. You see a lot of wobble out of it. And, I mean, the first time there was slight contact between him and the 79 of Stephen Knight, which is what sent him sideways. Or no, that was Escalera, my bad. It was him and Caden Bullard that made contact that kind of got him wobbly. But it's even in his own right in running, he still seemed like he was just having a hard time with the handling of that truck. So definitely a driver probably looking forward to the first pit stops to make some pit road adjustments to try to get that thing dialed in.
100%. Their truck's trying to get a little loose here. Focus now on the 72, 79. Quick work. At least I thought it was going to be quick work. Jonathan Gaston looking to the inside. Stephen Knight's going to have a nice run off the turn, too. That's where sometimes that outside lane has a little bit of an advantage. As they get through 3 and 4, though, that's it. Stephen Knight's going to take that spot. It should go single file here off into the front straightaway. A little wall contact from the 79. Going to keep them at bay. But, Dustin, we're going to shout out one of our partners here. We're going to change it up just a little bit. We're going to go first with iRacingIFlag.com. And these guys, great product. And they have the new iDash unit that's close to being released for sale, if not already there. So bookmark iRacingIFlag.com if you want to, have a new dash system. There's not too many companies that have one. This one, we had a little help when making it. It functions really well, has a lot of different stats to look over, has a very fun UI to glaze your eyes over as you're racing. But what they have right now live is currently their 64 LED diode display. It just gives you up to 30 different iRacing notifications at a glance. Not a lot bigger and a lot brighter than what iRacing does with that little tiny flag that they give you in the corner of the screen. We don't want that. We want basically the catch fence lighting in front of you with all your notifications. So iRacingIFlag.com has you today. Super Nerd at checkout. It's going to save you 15% off your purchase. And that's at iRacingIFlag.com.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got a battle heating up here for that top spot. 34 of Thorpe Jr. Last couple laps out of turn 4. The rear end has been getting a little loose on him. Coming out of turn 4, he's done an excellent job maintaining and keeping a handle on it. But Stephen Hayes is right there, ready to pounce at a moment's notice right now.
And he's looking. He had the movement momentarily to look to the inside. He is either going to get this man arrow loose, or he is going to drive through him, or just make a clean pass. That's your only three options. We have the raceepi.com race telemetry right here of the 34, Michael Thorpe Jr. Off into turn number 1, gets a little separation between himself and the 13. Let's see if that can maintain through turn 2. Cannot. He has to check up off throttle. 13, Stephen Hayes to the inside, looking. Does have the nose this time. Into turn 3, they're going to be door to door. And then 13 has to check out. Now the 34 is going to go wide. He does not have to check up, and it's going to belong to the 34, at least this time.
Yeah, good side-by-side battle. You see Stephen Hayes drops to the apron to try to cut it just a little bit. Just not able to, but this battle's still side-by-side. And if these guys keep racing like that, it's going to allow Brody Marinko and the Deuce and EJ Luna and the 24 to close right back in on them.
Doing a great job here. Great battle all the way around between these two, as the number 2 Brody Marinko has fallen off his strong start of the race. 25 laps in, he has now dropped to second behind the race leaders. As you see him on the screen right now, EJ Luna all over his back bumper, just like Stephen Hayes is on the 34. There's a couple two-truck battles going on, Dustin, keeping it entertaining here in the top 10.
Yeah, and then Mike Hayes is starting to work his way into the picture here right now, running in that 5th position. So that 2-truck battle between Luna and Marinko will become a 3-truck battle here in about a lap at the way things are going. Abram Ghostin running 6th. Danny White, you see these trucks spread out quite a bit. White running in 7th. John Howard in 8th. And then your next 2-truck battle, for the most part, is going to be the 94 of Altus and the 79 of Stephen Knight. That's for 9th and 10th. I mean, everything is getting spaced out, Jeremy, and that's what this track kind of produces, is that spaced out racing like that. It's very, very reminiscent to like a Dover, in that aspect that it will. The longer the green flags run, the more spaced out these trucks are going to get.
And that's just how Nashville Superspeedway works. Dustin, we're gonna bring it to our first picture-in-picture commercial break here. These guys continue to log down laps. We probably have another 30-ish to go before we're going to see green flag pit stops. But hang on tight. We'll be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, is so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair. Now available.
Two.
And back to full screen there. That was to thank some of our partners that allow us to do this for you all multiple times a week. Now up to 3 broadcasts a week, which is usually our max limit that we have here at Nerd TV. And that's going to be every Sunday, Thursday, and Wednesday. Don't ask me why I did that backwards, but I did it anyways for you all. So there you go. I got some YouTube chats to go over. We have 25 live right now. Global Racing League, Michael Lester says, really, that's in regards to nighttime is the right time. Let's go. Shane Wielden says Jeff. And then Michael Lester again says, I agree with Jeff. Let's go Shane Wielden. So the driver, the number 3, who can't get his painter to put the right number on the door panel, they have 2 cheerleaders out for him. So there you go. There's the 77/3 tonight, Shane Wielden.
Absolutely.
No contact and wreck at real time. Here we go.
Almost
No
had it
caution
saved.
yet.
There's
There it
a
is.
caution. Almost had it
28.
saved too, but that truck just bit and snapped it back the other way on that one. And Noah Tansman in that 28 goes for a ride off of turn 4. We're gonna watch it in real time here.
Yeah, this is a weird one, Dusty.
Yeah, it makes a little wall contact, but at the same time, so it's almost like a double-edged sword. The 28 made contact, came down. The 73 of Jeff Weimer was coming up. Contact was made, and you see he tries to straighten it out and then let off the brakes, and then it just rolled right on through and right past that center and right to the outside wall.
Yeah, I mean, if we can, let's go Oakley visor cam. I know he's going to call me out for saying if you can. Oakley visor cam to the 73 Jeff Weimer. He gets to corner exit, and he can give Noah Tansman lots of room. But then he just, drifts up the track randomly. It's kind of weird. Here he is. He just gets corner exit, and you can see him. He's just approaching the wall closer and closer, leaving Noah little to no room. But at the same time, Noah does make that mistake. Hits the wall, gets loose, comes down the track a little bit. So it's just a weird circumstantial thing that happens to bring up the first caution here, which happens to be on lap 35. I'm assuming a lot of these drivers are going to come down pit road and say, hey, we need to make some adjustments here because there's some loose trucks out there. There are some tight trucks out there. There's a lot of movers. We have quite a bit of drivers that were in the 20th place. They're now in the early teens and vice versa. So look at that. All pit road, entirely covered with race trucks right now.
Absolutely. And I tell you, I agree, Jeremy. There's going to be a number of drivers that are going to want to make some pit road adjustments. We had made mention earlier in the race that Justin LeBlanc in the 85 was definitely probably one of those drivers that definitely wanted to make some adjustments. His truck was ill handling, but seen a lot of drivers that were doing that, Jeremy, that their trucks were just not handling the way that they were, that they would have liked. But again, I mean, transition from day to night. When these drivers were practicing, it was on a day track. Night conditions do tend to change the overall feeling and handling of these trucks, as that transitions.
Yeah, 100% there. There's Tansman. He did stay out that last time. He did not lead a lap to my knowledge, and now he's back on pit road to get his truck serviced. As now we're going to look over the top of the field right now, top of the pylon. Your top 5, as it sits, it looks like for this restart, will be Stephen Hayes, Michael Thorpe Jr., EJ Luna, then Michael Hayes, and Brody Marinko. There's your Nerd TV top 5 right now, as we have 3/4 of a lap left. This race will resume on lap 40. Stephen Hayes has control of where the restart happens. He's got to get to the restart zone, of course, and then full send it from there. But the 13 was looking, Dustin. Now he has the spot. Can he maintain that pace as the race leader, or does Thorpe learn where Stephen Hayes is running and then take advantage of it?
If I'm a betting man, I think Thorpe's not gonna let off. Thorpe is gonna want to go where he was running, get that clean air to the front nose of that truck, and try to take off from there. So I think it's gonna be a hard fought battle here for that top spot, but different truck, and he may be a tough one to pass.
Yeah, 100% here. Ready, set, green. This thing is back underway. 13, what a launch. He's going to bring EJ Luna with him. As 34, Michael Thorpe's going to go back to third. Brody Marinko, short run hero. He's looking underneath. He's going to get past, or at least try to make a pass on number 1. Caution in the back, Dustin, here on the back straightaway on lap 40. This is going to involve the 75, Patrick Gentner. He is backwards on the outside wall, turn 2, as he's going to loop it back around. And Nerd TV replay style, we're going to find out what happened.
Yeah, there was a lot of moving and a shaking during that restart there they got, and he full sent it right into that corner, and that truck did not stick. Remember, drivers just got fresh simulated Goodyear sneakers on these trucks here, and they have not had a chance to get them up to temp and up to pressure, and that truck just let him know that that was a little too hard there, Bubba.
Yep, that was it. He hit the banana peel, spun the thing out there. Thankfully, no one else was involved. And when I said Michael Lester said really for a certain comment, that was a lie. I guess he was calling me out for saying that Michael Thorpe was Lazy Lizard. Listen, 2 blue spoilers out there had me all confuzzled. The dark blue one is Lazy Lizard. That's for the 75. He drives for that team. He's the one who caused that caution. So now I understand entirely. Dark blue is lazy. Light blue is full throttle. So... you know, you're welcome. You're welcome, Michael Lester, for that.
Leave it to Lester to call you out, Jeremy. Call you out. Really? Like you can hear a comment, and that was one of those like really type comments.
My wife gives me that daily. So what's new, brother?
Oh man! So we're gonna re-rack them and restack them. A little bit of moving and a shaking here. About the only positions that changed in the top 5 are going to be 2nd and 3rd. EJ Luna will now restart P2 with Michael Thorpe restarting P3. That means Thorpe will be restarting right off your leader on the inside row. EJ Luna will be leading that outside row. Mike Hayes still P4 and Brody Marinko and the Deuce still P5.
31 live on YouTube here. Appreciate you guys joining in and watching. And the Sunday crowd is definitely turning out like it has been as of recent. Dustin, we've seen the 34 have a bad restart there, but now he has control on the inside where EJ Luna just took advantage of him just a few laps ago. So, does that help Michael Thorpe figure out where the 13 is going to restart? She's going to be right behind him, or does EJ Luna still have that the ability to sneak out in front? We'll find out here. Pace lights on the truck are off. 1 to go. The thing will be resuming on lap 44.
Yeah, it's if EJ Luna can restart like he did last time when he restarted P3, it's going to be a good race for that top spot between himself and the 13 and Stephen Hayes. I think right now Thorpe Jr. is in a better spot right now because he literally just has to launch right when he sees Stephen Hayes launch. That could put him in a very similar situation that EJ Luna found himself in on the last restart, which will put him P2 right behind Stephen Hayes, and that battle will commence as what has been for the last, since the drop of the green flag. So it's going to be interesting. We got to have a clean restart. Drivers got to remember tires are still not up to temp. They're still not up to pressure. You got to let them come in, give them a few laps before you full send it off into the corner here, because this track will, with this abrasive surface, it will bite you without notice.
100% there. Peter Slowick on YouTube saying, let's get this racing no cautions for at least 45 laps. That'll put us right around lap 90. Let's see if we can hit that mark. Here we go. Green flag is out. Here's the 13 with a decent start again. Thorpe and EJ Luna are going to mimic each other here into turn 1. Slight advantage to the 34. Brody Marinko going to give a nice little shove to the 34. Ultimately puts him in front, back to second place. Now Brody looking to do battle with the 24 of Luna. Gets off into turn 3. Luna clears Brody. So does Michael Hayes. Now single file real quick inside the top 10 for the most part. We got the 64, 94. They're going to be side by side. Contact in the back. They stay clear. We green.
Yeah, and you got a battle for the lead right now. Thorpe Jr. did not hesitate or waste any time. With the fresh tires, he's trying to capitalize. Side by side is Thorpe Jr. on the inside, Stephen Hayes on the outside. This is your battle for the lead right now, neck and neck as they enter turn 3, Jeremy. Who is going to claim that top spot?
Thorpe wants it back. Hayes really just wants to be a part of it. They're going to have a great battle here. Oh, getting close. Michael drives it up a little bit, widens out that corner entrance to help himself, but caused a close moment there off turn 1. Continuing side by side, door to door, into turn 3. The advantage should go to the guy on the bottom in turn 3, but turn 4 seems to be tricky, depending on who overdrives it. 13, Stephen Hayes, great launch off of turn 4, will clear and be back single file race leader.
Yeah, that high side launch off of turn 4. They can just widen that corner out, put more throttle into it. It's so hard to try to drive under somebody, especially with fresh tires. That move may not be as easy with tires that have about 35, 40 laps on them. But, Jeremy, they all have freshies on them right now, so that's super, super tough. Further back in the field, you see a number of drivers tagging the wall. Dustin Franklin tagged the wall. Stephen Knight tagged the wall a little bit the last lap. But we got some hard battling going on, Jeremy, right around that 13th position.
And we got Lapper upcoming. Noah Tansman coming into the picture here as the race leaders are going to go 2 wide again. Back to the race leaders. We're 3 wide mid-pack there. Dustin's got the camera on the action. And there we go. They're still going. And back to the race lead here. Thorpe trying to get some side draft off of Steven. At the line, Stephen Hayes does claim that lap for lap 48. Next lap will be marking 50 laps, which will be 1/3 of this race completed. And Michael just trying so hard here. He had a slightly worse time on the long run compared to the 13. But now he's trying to battle the 13 on the inside, which is not good for the tire wear. And he just can't do it, Dustin. Turn 4 a little too tight for the 34.
Yeah, and still, again, with those tires being as fresh as they are, that high side exit is just, it is primo right now. Primo real estate for that high side, but those two are still going to be duking it out, Jeremy, as we work through the field. You see a couple tandem battles going on. There's a battle right back here. This is right for that top 10. Oh, Jacob Grant. Looks like he was into the wall a little bit, or was that... Yeah, I think it was Grant. I can't tell because it was Grant and Gaston both have very similar looking trucks, and they were right next to each other. I think it was Grant that tagged the wall, but it could have been Gaston too.
It was Gaston. The driver of the 72 does hit the outside wall, and yeah, they're identical, Dustin. You're absolutely correct. But now we know who it is because we got the camera on him. 72 now has the 18 underneath them here. Caden Bollard is going to remain side by side. He got a couple trucks there mid-pack. They remain that way. 2 wide here into turn 3. The 18 is going to clear the 72. Bollard passes Gaston. It's going to bring another truck into the picture. This is going to be Ricky Hudgens in the 91. He's going to clear the 72. So he drops back further. Maybe that damage to the outside did something to that truck. Oh, he does.
Loose.
He's getting loose. Loose again. That wall hit wasn't much, but it had to done something to him.
Yeah, because he's losing spots and falling back fast. That's the driver of the 72, Jonathan Gaston.
3 wide.
3 wide right now. You got the 4 of Jacob Kaplan was in the center. 23 of Anthony Emmerich was down low as they were passing Gaston on that one. Everybody gets through there, but yeah, that truck has got to be ill handling. Some type of damage to that truck has slowed him off the pace, and he is falling back. Very similar to the driver right behind him, Justin LeBlanc. You know, very similar thing. Ill handling truck does not take much at Nashville.
it's got to be a toe knocked out or something to cause that kind of slowness, because it wasn't aerodynamic thing. It's all underneath or in the chassis work of what's causing the 72 to just drop like a rock here through the field as we're kind of cycling through some of the trucks. Here's the number 4, Jacob Kaplan, Lazy Lizard driver. He's got the 23 at
I think it's Kaplan.
Kaplan? Kaplan? Probably Kaplan. Michael Lester, my personal senior autocorrect correspondent. Can you give us a name drop here? Kaplan, phonetically spelled, please, and thank you. As he still battle alongside here, 23 to the inside. Looking, backs it down early. The 4 goes wide. But he's going to get a great launch off this corner. Yes, he does. He's going to clear the 23, and now he's going to bring the 43, Matthew Escalera, into the picture.
Yeah, Matthew Escalera working his way forward after that early race contact between him and Stephen Knight in the 79, where he did the 45-degree Gymkhana slide. No reference to the Monster sponsorship on that one, nor the number. Oh, we got a wreck, and that's going to involve
Ricky Hudgens.
Ricky Hudgens in the 79. A Stephen Knight also involved in that one.
Front stretch, 3 wide. There was a third truck involved in the middle. Right there, the number 18 on your screen. Caden Bullard's going to be in the middle of this sandwich.
Oh.
Gonna
Almost looks like the 18 might have drifted up a little bit there and just slight contact. And it looks like it's going to collect the 79 and the 91. That's going to be Knight in the 79, Hudgens in the 91. It looks like that's all that it's going to collect. But we're going to do a little Nerd TV rewind here. Get a different angle on that one and see if we can't see. But at first glance, it almost looked like the 18 might have drifted up just slightly based off of Dustin Franklin coming down to the apron and then drifting back up. So it was a reaction drift, and he drifted right up into the 79.
Yeah, a slight drift up. I know Stephen Knight was trying to straighten out that trial over there, so he did go from the top of the track down to the middle. He probably didn't recognize that they were either 3 wide or that the 91 didn't go all the way to the inside right away, or the 74 rather, so kind of left the 18 slightly upwards a little bit, and then when that extra drift up happened, that's what kind of set him off there. So caution regardless for the 3rd time here this evening on lap 56. We did not hit the 45 lap mark. Sorry there, Peter, did not happen. Also on YouTube, Austin McGill.
There was no caution, my guy. There was no caution.
There was no caution? Oh, I thought there was caution for sure. Okay. I was looking directly at the replay so quick, I thought we had a caution for sure. But no, you're correct. I see it now. Still live, still green. Look at me. I'm getting fired tonight. This will be my last broadcast. I'll find somebody better. And that's it. That's all I got to say. So Austin McGill saying, let's go full throttle. Got stuck at work, so I had a miss tonight, unfortunately. Sorry, Austin, to hear that. Hopefully the overtime pays well, or at least worth it. But either way, welcome aboard here to Nerd TV on the viewership side.
Yeah, and that little snafu there gave a big separation right now, Jeremy, to about the top 10. The top 10 to 11 now kind of bunched up a little bit, and then you have a gap there until a 12th place. So everybody had to kind of check up for that wreck, and now these drivers are going to have to push their trucks and their setups and tires even harder to try to close that gap that was left open. The only other thing that would be able to do that is, 1, if they can make up time during green flag pit stops, or 2, a caution.
That's a good view right there from the iRacing iFlag truck map. That's 20 laps in roughly, give or take a few. And they have half this track consumed with gray dots all over on the front stretch. Now turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and turn 4 only have 1 truck there, and everybody else just kind of nose to tail here. Look at the outside. LeBlanc looks like they might have been 3 wide, but they go 2 wide here on the back straight away. LeBlanc with a really wide 1 and 2. He's going to bring it down to the bottom for 3 and 4. Some people can rotate the middle 1 and 2 quite nicely up there, like LeBlanc can. As you see, I think that was Weimer into the wall, just off a turn 4 exit. That was Don Blasian 11. But yeah, he's going to go back to the bottom for... Oh, he kind of drove up a little early. He saw that truck slide up in the center.
Yeah, but the handling does seem like it is handling a lot better than it was during that first run, but still not where LeBlanc would like the handling of that truck to be at right now as we are approaching, Jeremy. We are almost 10 laps away from halfway complete at the Nashville SS 150 right now. Right, Stephen Hayes still currently leading and has put some separation between him and Michael Thorpe Jr. Jeremy, you touched on this momentarily while Stephen Hayes and Thorpe Jr. were racing side by side, that pushing the tires might not be a good thing so early on, because Stephen Hayes did not have near the fall off that Thorpe Jr. did during that longer run before that first caution flew. And right now, Stephen Hayes starting to gap the 34 of Thorpe Jr. as Thorpe Jr. is under a lot of attack from the 24 of VJ Luna.
Back straightaway here, riding on board, see what this looks like here. Through 3 and 4. EJ trying what he can to put himself in second place. Michael Hayes holding on strong. P4 right behind him. And very stagnant, that set of corners under the front stretch into turn 1 now. Slight advantage on corner entry. And just, it's so close. These guys are so identical in time. It's very hard to make a move here. Waiting for the one guy to make a mistake.
Yeah, right now you see EJ Luna has a more abrupt early entry into the corners. It's what allows him to close up, but Thorpe's exit is where he pulls off. So like you said, very even, where one gains and one loses, it flip-flops in the opposite end of the corner there. So good race and good battle for P2 right now between those two. And you can't forget Mike Hayes, who's right there. He's putting pressure on. Speaking of that, he's looking to go for a pass on Luna.
Looking for the pass here. Has everything but the very front nose clip cleared. But off turn 4, even though the 24 got a little wishy-washy there, he's going to get a little boost of momentum off the corner. Go door to door with the 1. And then just like that, turn 1's going to say, hey, Michael Hayes, here you go. EJ crossover. Yes, he had a great center through 1 and 2. Enables the crossover here. Does he now have a chance to make that stick?
Yeah, a slide job by the 1 of Mike Hayes, transitioned into a crossover by the 24 of VJ Luna. Now, side by side, Luna gets loose off of turn 4, but still maintains a little bit of speed there. But currently give that position fully now to the 1 of Mike Hayes as he sets his sights now on the 34 of Thorpe Jr. So good battle there for P3. You see Brody Marinko still holding down P5. Jacob Grant trying to chase him down, though, but still has a lot of ground to make up, Jeremy. And as we had talked about this race now, as we have gone a long stint on green flag, just like what we did the first stint, everything is starting to get spaced out. So drivers now have to plan their attacks. They have to watch the driver in front of them, look for openings, look for mistakes, and learn when to capitalize and when to pounce.
100% here. We're going to take our second picture-in-picture commercial break. We will be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair. Now available.
And back to full screen here, lap 76 of 150. This marks exactly the halfway mark in tonight's 150 lapper at the Nashville Speedway. Race leader Stephen Hayes, 1.6 second lead over Michael Thorpe Jr., Michael Hayes, EJ Luna, and everybody else trailing behind him here, Dustin.
Yeah, Stephen Hayes has really stretched that lead out here in the later stages. The long run strength of that 13 team is really showing itself right now halfway through tonight's event. Michael Thorpe Jr. still holding the one of Mike Hayes at bay, and Mike Hayes holding the 24 at bay as well. That is your top four. Brody Marinko still in P5 comfortably right now. That's Noah Tansman behind him. That is your first driver one lap down. So if the caution were to come out, he would, by virtue, as long as he has no X's on there, that means no contact, no off tracks, no anything, would be the lucky dog recipient. But Jacob Grant is closing in, Jeremy, over about the last 10 laps. He has really started trailing in the two of Brody Marinko for that fifth position.
Trailing him in indeed here, because we're now on lap 79 here. Let's go over the Nerd TV Top 10 recap. We're just past the halfway mark. We have some movers, we have some goers, so I think it's a great time to launch that segment here. We're going to start with our race leader, Stephen Hayes, driver of the 13. Started second, P1 now. We've talked about him for the most part of the night. You know how he's doing, which is fantastic. Second place, the other guy that's been in the top two all night long, Michael Thorpe Jr. Again, we talked about him being super solid, doing very well in the first 12 starts now to the season. That's your driver in second right now. Michael Hayes, the guy who probably has had the most times being fastest in practice, and that for the most part does translate well into the race here. He started back in 11th though, fought his way to P3 quickly, and he's kind of just been hanging out. We're gonna backtrack. We got a caution, not a false one from myself. This is an actual in-race caution, and this is going to involve. Let's find out. I don't see the
Kaplan.
truck wrecked just yet. You're going to say Kaplan, driver, the number 4.
Kaplan and Weimer make contact, and they both go up. And, oh, Wielden, look at that. Cut down to just miss it. But it looked like the 4 of Kaplan went to try to make a move to the inside, and that negative, Ghost Rider. That pattern was definitely full with the 73 there. Is again, we're going to go full speed, and this is right off of the corner here, and just right down into the 73, and then you see the 3 or 77, however you want to see it. Shane Wielden just missed that one.
Yeah, we had Peter say just like 5 laps ago, saying, "Come on, Shane Wielden, let's get it." So let's go Oakley Visor Cam of the 77/3. And we got a fan base watching this guy, so let's see how close he was to being part of this wreck from his point of view. Goodbye. Just like that. Just, it's easy pass. It's a 2-for-1 pass that's super easy because they just clean themselves out right in front. No work to be had. and Shane Wheeldon picks up 2 positions.
Yeah, I mean it's the the reaction time that it takes though on something like that. Like it takes a good deal of reaction time because where Shane was running was right in the center. So yeah, the 73 was probably going to wash up the track, but there was a chance that the 4 of Kaplan was going to go down the track because the contact was initially made by him turning down into the 73 there on the front stretch. So it was a 50-50 shot. Shane made the right call in that split second, got past there, no contact, and he continues on.
There you go. Most of the drivers are exiting pit road now. Dustin, next week we do have a broadcast for Global Racing League. It's going to come to you live at the Michigan International Speedway, MIS, 2-mile facility. We're going to go 100 laps there, so join us live next week. Nerd TV on YouTube or Facebook. As we're going to go 100 laps there. And then we're off for Father's Day weekend. And then we have another 2-week stint before another holiday. 4th of July weekend's up. So just want to give a shout out to the future broadcast here for Global Racing League in the next month here. And then also, I'd like to shout out one of our partners as well before we go back to Green Flag. It's been a minute since I've done that. So this time I'm gonna bring out Victory Fuel. I know you have a new case ordered, and I don't know if it's actually shipped to your house yet, but you're finally going to be able to try, was it the grape one, right?
Purple Potion.
Yeah, Purple Potion. And drinkvictory.com has 3 amazing flavors. It's Throttle Punch, Lucky Lemon, and Purple Potion. I love that purple drink. Like, I don't like 90% of the flavored waters because they're watered down and it's either full flavor or nothing for me. But let me tell you, that's not the case with Purple Potion or Throttle Punch. I have yet to try Lucky Lemon, so I can't comment there, but it's such great flavors for all the benefits they have. No artificial coloring, no caffeine, so anyone in the household can drink it. They're in a small can. You don't have to sit there and drink it like a big 16-ounce can. So that's going to be at drinkvictory.com, and here we go. We're going back to racing.
Yeah, a lot of stuff coming up here in the coming weeks. Good racing action coming up, but we still got this race to finish here. Excellent racing going on as Green Flag flies back out. 13 is Stephen Hayes, restarts P1. Very reminiscent to 2 restarts ago. The 34 was on the outside, started P2 on the outside, and he is going to get gobbled up, and he is loose through those corners right now.
EJ Luna getting slideways. A lot of the top 5. Oh, here we go. Wreck in the back. 1 truck deep. 26. Our Swedish Scottish Warrior finding the grass here in the back stretch on the opening restart on lap 84.
And he saved it. No wall contact on that one either.
Let's find out what happened. RTV replay style.
See what happened going through the corner, and he got loose. A lot of trucks got loose, as it looks like that was Don Blazer down there as well. He locks it up, keeps it away from the wall, mows the grass a little bit, but that's all right. They'll take all the help they can get, and he keeps it going.
Keeps it going at the same time. The 2 drivers who wrecked out that last wreck, Jeff Weimer, Jacob Kaplan, both of them out. They have manually disconnected from tonight's session. DNFs to the 4 and the 73. Inside battle here for 19th and the 34 for 4th and 5th. And it looks like Michael Thorpe has the advantage on turn 2. He does. He clears them there. He goes back in line, but we still have side by side with the, looks like the 78 on the outside right here as we're looking now at the 2 and the 24. That's going to quickly erase itself. Single file once more.
Yeah, single file. Thorpe Jr. trying to make ground up after that restart. Restarted P2, back to P4, now battling EJ Luna for 3rd place on the inside. He's going to try to make something happen there. Both Luna and Thorpe get a little loose out of turn 2, neck and neck as they enter turn 3. Who's going to prevail on this one here? We've seen that high side prevail, but Thorpe gets a good entry there. Does he clear him? Not quite yet. Luna still holding on.
Great battle here, 34-24. And also right behind them, John Howard and Jacob Grant. Last race winner at North Wilkesboro. Still hanging on inside this top 10. Contact 24-34. Michael Thorpe Jr. around. We stay green flag. Keep it off the wall. Excellent job.
And he does. Wow.
Yep. Oh, now he tags the wall. But the grass update from 6 to 8 months ago saved Michael Thorpe from hitting that inside wall with the added grip to the grass texture. And slight contact. Boop. There he sends him out.
Right there.
There's the boop, snoop, and droop you to the infield. Good night, 34. Thankfully keeps it off the wall from any heavy contact.
Yeah, yep. And like I said, I mean, they were battling it hard back and forth on both of those. But unfortunately, that's going to knock him from battling for third place back to 23rd, well off the pace right now. About a half a track off the pace as it sits. So he's going to need a caution to get things going back up. But back up front now, side-by-side battle for the lead. Brody Marinko finally getting some fire underneath that deuce as he's now putting pressure on the 13 of Stephen Hayes.
Brody Marinko, first time going for the race lead. He's not had the long run setup. Has he made the changes on pit road needed to contend? Right now cannot get around the 13. Is he going to have to think about it once more? He gets loose in turn 2. He's going to back it down 2 truck lengths behind the 13 now. Nice little half a second gap, maybe a little bit more between second and third. John Howard in the 78 quietly started in 6th place. Haven't talked to him about it much. Now he's inside your top 3. Looking at EJ Luna, Jacob Grant now. Jake.
Not Caden Bullard.
Caden Bullard. My tower kind of weirded out there for just a moment, but we're back now. Is Jacobs in front in the white truck, and then that's the other truck, Caden Bullard, the 18, as he's got EJ Luna still all over his back bumper here. And then a little bit behind him, they got a little 2x2 going on.
Yeah, so you got a battle between the 18 of Bullard, the 24 Luna, and then back behind him, you have the 22 of Abram Ghostin battling with the 43 of Matthew Escalera. Now this is a 4-truck battle. Luna gets by. Now Ghostin trying on the inside, putting a nose there. Escalera waiting to see how this is going to work out before he elects to make his move.
Just watching to see here. Oh, here comes the 22 to the outside this time, but it's going to open the door for the 43. Matthew Escalera not able to take advantage of it. 22 can drop down if needed. And there we go, single file once more here. This is the battles for 6th, 7th, and 8th place side by side. 43 to the 22. Abram Ghostin, new to Grim Reaper, trying to see what he can't do for his first race, I do believe, for his team.
Yep. Yeah, this is first race for him on Grim Reaper Motorsports. They picked him up during the holiday offseason. And Jeremy, look at this gaggle of trucks back here. You want to talk about racing action? You could throw a blanket over these 6 to 7 trucks right now. Anthony Emmerich with the drift up. Holds on to it.
It is just a great battle right now for this position. A lot of trucks moving in and out one another here, and no wonder it's for 10th place, right? So here we are, 23, almost tags the 91, Ricky Hudgens in turn 3. Emmerich loose. Oh, the 91, I thought he was going to cut off the 23 and cause a wreck. Barely misses them here, and they go single file. Anthony down to the very top of the track.
Yeah, Anthony going up there and digging against that
man's
wall
land.
right now. No man's land. We have not seen anybody up there unless they were falling back, but that of which he does not except for one position, but he's trying to get a handle on it. But Jeremy, this racing right here, like you said, just outside that 10th position. 10th currently held by the 79 of Steve Knight. You see him right there. Dustin Franklin, Shane Wielden, Ricky Hudgens, Justin LeBlanc, Anthony Emmerich, Danny White, and Mark Sherwood all within striking distance of that, trying to chase down the 79 of Stephen Knight for that top 10 pivotal battle position.
Emmerich hit the wall that time off of turn 2 as he's still struggling to lock in a position. He's falling back here. We're looking out the 70. Oh, Emmerich still into the wall. Back-to-back corners. He's going to bounce off that thing.
That one hurt. That one hurt. He's falling
Yeah.
back on that one.
Remember, we saw
Ghostin.
Ghosted.
Or Gaston.
72.
Gaston.
Gaston. So he messed me up. Gaston bounced off the wall just barely, and it knocked out his toe, and he fell back quite a bit. But now we're going to see if Anthony can recover from that as well. Some good battles, though, quite a bit throughout this field.
Yeah, and like I said, this is right now. Dustin Franklin holds a comfortable 11th position. Ricky Hudgens is clear right now. You still got good battles between LeBlanc and Wheeldon. You got Danny White there trying to put his truck in the mix. You got Mark Sherwood back there. He was wicked loose coming through off of turn 2.
Yes, ill handling trucks. And as they continue to work on these things on pit road, you can see who's made the good changes, who's made the bad changes. Looking, most of these trucks went single file. Saw a couple more getting really loose here. Just kind of cycle through. Got maybe a battle position for 6th and 7th. You also have LeBlanc trying to pass Ricky Hudgens here. This is for 11th and 12th. Sorry, 12th and 13th. 85 to the bottom once more. It's not seeing too many trucks able to run the center lane, Dustin, by themselves and maintain. Like, you see some pass efforts that not accepted as the outside truck gets momentum, but the 91s just continue to run the middle of the track, and it's working wonders for him. Bobby Mantle, 89. This is the first time we've talked about this guy.
I was just
really,
thinking that. I'm like,
minus
where did he come from?
this man just under the radar. Stealth mode engaged for the 89.
Yeah, we literally have not called his name all race long. And somehow, no matter where we went with the camera angles, he was not in camera shot on any of them. But here he is right now, just passing Matthew Escalera for P7, now closing in on the 18 of Caden Bullard for P6, slowly working his way forward in the Mantle way. So I'm still dumbfounded that we have not seen or called his name really all race long until just now. Up front, though, we got a battle heating up for the lead between the 13 of Stephen Hayes and Brody Marinko in the deuce.
The 2 is back. He's in that mid to long run portion of the race, and his setup is on fire. He's doing much better than what he had done the previous restarts here tonight, coming up to end lap 103, so we got less than 50 laps to go in this race. These two trucks have a 1.4 second gap over third place that last time by. This time at the line, it still remains at 1.485 seconds here. We're going to shout out another one of our partners, and this time we don't talk about them much, but we have a commercial for them. Butt Kicker, the audio enhancement partner for the Nerditudes. Hook this thing up to your center post, your racing chair, sim rig. It's going to make you feel every single bump just like your direct drive steering wheel does on the iRacing or any simulation platform. And go pick yourself up one today. You will not regret that purchase.
Yeah, absolutely. As we got two battles heating up, the battle for the race lead still strong between Hayes and Marinko. Battle for third heating up between Luna and Grant. And then you've got John Howard back there just riding in a very comfortable fifth. But these two positions right now, Jeremy, they have only stretched and separated themselves individually about 2 truck lengths, and that's about it. They have not left each other for about the last 6 laps.
No, this is an amazing battle right now. You know, it's only 2 trucks, and they got a big gap between themselves and third place. It is still a very good battle to be had here as they're halfway through their field run, maybe a little bit past the halfway mark. The tires are not in the best shape at all, and these guys are still able to look like they're on fresh tires the way they're driving, not getting loose, not hitting the wall. They're just solidly racing for position right now. And I'm just surprised, Dustin. The 2 did some great work on pit road, or if he didn't do any changes to the truck, he definitely made changes to his driving. Well, I'm going to erase everything I just said. He hit the wall right when I'm talking about it. But he's made some great driver changes behind the wheel to make this truck better in the long run.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, I mean, that's what it takes. I mean, they have to adapt to the race. I mean, these races are long. They have to adapt to the race. They have to adapt to, different variables throughout the entirety of the race. This one here, 150 circuits is full distance. It's a struggle. I mean, hats off to any and all of these drivers for being able to do that. Battle starting to separate between first and second. Third and fourth still maintain right around the same. John Howard comfortably in fifth, but Bobby Mantle trying to truck down. He has now put himself in sixth spot as he did get around Caden Bullard. We got a battle back here between Escalera and Ghostin. That's the 22 of Ghostin, the 43 of Escalera, now side by side. You see Steve Knight back there waiting in the wings. Mark that position being P8 to Abram Ghostin in the 22.
Still looking single file for the most part. I'm going to go ahead and do another shout out to one of our partners I don't talk about enough, and it's going to be Brez Coffee Co. That's going to be brezcoffeeco.com. And we have a flavor right there. You see, it's kind of hard to see based on that graphic alone, but it is called Sugary Sweet Joystick. Churro flavored. It's coffee grounds. You buy in a bag, and it's going to make you quite a bit of coffee, really. I do cold brew. You can do it hot brewed, of course, however you want to make your drink with a nice churro flavor. If you pair it with the apple caramel creamer, it is fantastic. Speaking of that, I did make some recently, and it's time to fire up tomorrow morning's work session with some of that. But we got a wreck here on the front straightaway. We're going to remove that logo momentarily as the 72 Gaston. He's around for a ride. Who did he get collected with?
That would have been, looked like Kenny Heath in the 5 as we're going to watch this at full speed. They come around the corner there, and he bounced off the wall and right down into the 5 at Kenny Heath, and they both went for a ride through the infield grass there. No caution, though. Kenny Heath, though, took a harder turn there and whipped it all the way around, so he's going to lose a whole lot more time on that one as he tried to get that thing straightened back out.
Do you remember how Jeff Weimer slid up the track and made contact with Noah Tansman earlier in the race? That's exactly what Kenny Heath did. He got off turn 4 exit and just drifted up toward the wall, right with the 72. But the 72, when he bounced off that wall, it slowed up his truck and put Kenny Heath in a spot that he didn't think he was going to be at. And boom, wreck happened there. And I'm not calling the fake caution this time, Dustin. We do stay green.
We do stay green, and while all that action was happening on the front stretch, well, technically from turn 4 to the front stretch, EJ Luna had caught the 2 of Brody Marinko and passed him, and Jacob Grant is close in tow. So it looks like that long run for the 2 has fallen off, and he's starting to go backwards right now as he's about to lose another position to the 19 of Jacob Grant. So that's going to be P3 as there goes Jacob Grant to the inside. That is going to shake up your Nerd TV podium right now. Still Stephen Hayes, top of the charts. EJ Luna still in P2. A little bit of door contact there between the 2 and the 19 as they went down the backstretch. Almost looked like the 2 drifted down a little bit from that camera angle we had, but they're still side by side in battle, Jeremy.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard-fought battle here as Brody's starting to slip on that long-run portion of this race. Jacob Grant trying to put himself in podium. Remember, this guy started in 20th place, and he's finally going to get him cleared. Does he make the crossover momentarily? No. And he's going to not make the effort. Brody Marinko is going to stay single file with a 19. Jacob Grant, welcome to P3. Pit stops. The 24 and the 2 both come down. That's 2nd and 4th place. They're both to speed. Good stops for these 2.
Yeah, I thought I seen EJ go down to the bottom. Now remember, these drivers do not have open comms. They cannot communicate. So I thought I seen the 24 go way low, and right there you see off at turn 2, he goes down to the yellow and then back up. That's to signal, hey, I'm coming in pits this time. And that's exactly what he did. So yeah, pit stop starting right now. Stephen Hayes coming down to the service of his crew. So Jeremy, I would expect everybody else to start coming down because on fresh tires, they are going to start losing a lot of time on that track.
There's the 13. Go to my SDK live timing here, and that's it. Stephen Hayes, 13 is the only one on pit road this lap around the track. And remember, this pit stop will end any other green flag pit stop efforts. They can make it on fuel the rest of the way as we're approaching lap 118. It's going to put them at, 33 laps to go this time around. Right now, 19, Jacob Grant, your leader's a 74, 85.
64.
And it looks like the 64, Danny White. These three are in on lap 118.
Yeah, 118. You're going to start seeing pit road get real busy real quick. The question is, how much longer will the 19 stay out? He's going to stay out at least another rotation as he stays at full speed down the front stretch right now. John Howard currently in second. We got more coming down. 22 of Abram Ghostin. Oh, no. Abram Ghostin goes sideways. Escalera has to take evasive maneuvers to get around him. That was very close.
Close call there for the 43. And the first pit woe of the night goes to the 22 with a 90-degree slide right into pit road. He didn't do anything bad, though, so I don't think he should be penalized for that. But it's really going to take about 5 to 10 seconds of his lap just to get the thing woed up and turn back around.
Yeah, he's going to lose a lot of time on that one there. They got a couple more coming in. Mark Sherwood coming in. Don Blazer coming into the service of their crew. Jeremy, that's going to leave roughly about the top 10 left that still need to pit, led by this man, Jacob Grant. He's staying out another lap. He's going to keep cruising. John Howard's coming in this time. Pit service. Oh, takes it wide. Was able to back it down. Wow. Oh, hold on to her there, Bubba. The 91, Ricky Hutchinson. The 23 of Anthony Emmerich coming in. Thorpe coming in as well. He was coming in hot. Got it woed down. That's going to leave roughly about your top 5 or top 6. Still needing to come down to the service of their pit crew.
Yep, 5 in this lap.
Leader coming in. Oh, no, Jacob Grant.
No.
Oh, almost misses that entry. That's going to be a slow entry. That's going to hurt him a little bit. But Mike Hayes, Steve Knight, Shane Wheeldon, and Jonathan Gaston all stay out this time by.
Great save, Jacob Grant, the 19, to not crash that thing, not send him through the grass amidst the pit box. If he would have done that, or the pit entrance, if he would have done that, he would have been toast for the night. And he had to cycle back around and re-enter pit road again. But yeah, waiting on these guys on your screen right now to make their pit stop. Michael Hayes does not come in this time. Looking at Stephen Knight, he does not. Shane Wheeldon, he does not. So still waiting on those three to come on down. Pits are open.
Pits are open. Jonathan Gaston, the last one out of these 4 that need to pit. He stays out as well, and you can see the speed difference. Don Blazer, who's already come down to service for his crew, he is just going to fly by the 72 right now. So these drivers losing a lot of time on track right now. And Jeremy, we have seen that happen before. Stephen Knight coming down to the service of his crew, but we've seen that happen before. Drivers waiting too long and they lost too much time on the track with their old tires compared to the new tires, that it actually hindered them more than assisted them.
Yeah, it's that you lose a lot of time up front by you staying out, but then you slowly get that back being fresher. But right now, there is 27 laps, almost 26 to go in this race. That's about half a fuel run. I really don't see it working out, but of course, I'm the one calling the race, not behind the seat. These guys know what they're doing more than I do. That's why they're here on this Sunday series, but we'll find out. We'll see if the 79, the 1 and the 3 can make up this difference. Steven, of course, he's coming off pit road now. Shane Wheeldon, Michael Hayes, 2 guys left to pit.
Jonathan Gaston as well.
Jonathan Gaston, the 72.
Those 3, they're the last 3 that still need service.
And still no one taking this time. 77, the number 3, Shane Wheeldon, actually really loose. It looked like maybe off of turn 4. Lost a lot of ground. Actually got checked up. Had a off the throttle a lot to avoid the wall.
Yeah, and Jeremy, I feel that they're losing too much time. I think this is going to put them too deep in the field. with it staying green flag. Like I said, this strategy only works if a late race caution comes out and you have not pitted yet, and you trap a number of drivers a lap down that have to take the wave around, which gives you the freshest tires and puts you with the track position. That's the only way that this works. Or if they've calculated and somehow they might have enough fuel to make it to the end, we got 24 laps to go. Those are the only two ways that works. The longer they stay out, if they do have to make a green flag pit stop, it is only hurting them. As you see, Jacob Grant's about ready to get his lap back the hard way from Mike Hayes.
He's going to do it this time. This coming lap here, we're on lap 128, 23 laps remaining in the Nashville Superspeedway 150, and there it is. Passes him easy breezy. Now here's the number 3/77, Shane Wheeldon. There's the 72 of Gaston still remaining on the track. These guys, did they come down a little bit later, or does everyone else come down stupid early? Because this is a large time frame between the round of pit stops of everybody else versus the top three.
47 laps was the last time that the one was on pit road. 47 for Shane Wheeldon as well. Jeremy, they're gonna have to pit. I don't see them being able to stretch it that much, and they're losing so much time on the track. Like I said, the only thing that I can think of is they're hoping for a caution of some kind. And look at how much the one of Mike Hayes has to slow down. It checks up the 43 of Escalera and the 26 of Callum Bailey. So I don't know. Shane Wheeldon finally calls it quits. He's given up P2, coming down to the service of his crew after that checkup that got his truck loose. So that's going to leave just the one of Mike Hayes.
Yeah, that's it. And a contact. Callum Bailey's going to ship Michael Hayes into the wall. And then he's going to get run over by the 74. Caution is out for the fourth time this evening. Dustin Franklin basically nowhere to go unless he slammed on the brakes and abrupt turn to the left. But that's going to put Michael Hayes into that predicament of he needed the caution, but he was the caution, as Callum Bailey just pulls out his Swedish Scottish sword and it just sliced him to the outside wall. Old tires, just no handling left in that truck. And then here comes Franklin with the 1-2 punch. Boom. Lifts him up off the ground to the outside wall once more. Goes the number one. Caution Dustin. Under 20 laps to go now. But he got his caution. He was the caution.
Yeah, he got his caution. Not in the way that he wanted to get it, that's for sure. So, yeah, he's going to have to come down. And the bad thing is he's going to have some repairs he's going to have to make. But there's a number of drivers that are not on the lead lap that they're going to have to take the wave around. He's going to have the freshest tires. And he's going to have the freshest tires for the shortest amount of time. So it's the question is, and the deciding factor is, how much damage was done on that hit. I mean, the wall contact I don't think was too bad, but that slam there from Dustin Franklin there that lifted his truck up and then, nosed it back into the wall for the 360, that one might have been the tough one there. So it's only time's going to tell, but that should cycle the 13 of Stephen Hayes back to the top spot. EJ Luna, P3, Brody Marinko, P4, Jonathan Gaston, Brody Marinko, P3, Jonathan Gaston, P4, and Bobby Mantle, P5. That will be your top five once your waiver rounds actually do make their rotation around.
Yeah, we'll get this all sorted out here. Next lap. Figure out, I think the pace lights on the truck should be coming off this time. So with number one, Michael Hayes still on pit road. He is maximizing his time getting that thing repaired before he has to merge onto the track to beat the pace truck out. You see the pace truck, Michael Hayes still there. One is on the throttle, and he goes. He's cutting out really close, Dustin. And he does beat him off, though. He does beat the pace truck. So he's going to go back around, catch up to the field here. And there goes the cycling around of trucks that need to. And they're going to have a lot of scattering around here. We'll get this thing filed in the next half lap.
Yeah, it's gonna take them. They gotta cycle around. You see Mike Hayes right now trying to get some temps in the tires, pressure up, testing to see how the toe is, and oh, that's not a good sign, Jeremy.
Oh, no cold tires there, Michael. Warmed him up now. Don't need a weave anymore. He just did it right there.
Yeah, he did it in one corner. So yeah, they're gonna cycle back around. That will put your top 5, as I had mentioned before. Hayes in the 13, Luna P is going to be P5, Gaston is going to be P4, as they were flip-flopping because they are double file right now, as you stated, Jeremy. Pace lights on the pace truck are off. We will be going green flag racing this time by.
Michael Hayes going to restart in 11th place, but with rear damage to the truck. Will that affect him, or will he zip through the field with the freshest tires and only being a couple seconds back? Here we go. Green flag is out. This thing is back underway. 17 laps to go in the Nashville Superspeedway race here. And a good start, good launch from Stephen Hayes. He's going to bring Brody Marinko with him almost. EJ Luna keeps it on the throttle early, going to bring it back door to door down the backstretch. Oh, but the 13 really checks up. Brody Marinko taking a shot at it, Dustin.
Yeah, and this late race caution and 17-lap shootout is right in the wheelhouse for Brody Marinko, and where he ran his fastest in race. Contact between him and the 13, side by side, 3 wide now. And more contact. Stephen Hayes going to go up to the wall. Stephen Hayes in the wall. He's going to get unglued, come back down. That's going to put Brody Marinko into that top spot with EJ Luna close in tail.
Yeah, Brody kind of roughhousing the 13 a little bit there. He's going to shuffle the 13 back quite a few spots. He's battling the 18 this time on the front straightaway. Does make himself cleared of the 18. Now he's got to focus, regroup. He's now residing in 4th place. Michael Hayes, the guy who was waiting for that caution, got his own caution. Has not really advanced well. He's battling Gaston here for 9th place, but not really advancing like he was hoping. Maybe just too much damage still on that one truck as he is continuing to struggle. 3 wide right behind him though. Stephen Knight kind of putting that nose there, but the 91 Ricky Hudgens, he clears. Now the 72 had to check up, makes the 3 wide happen behind them. Ghostin gets around. Now here goes Shane Wheeldon to the inside. Jonathan Gaston slides back quite a few spots.
Yeah, he is going back in a hurry, Jeremy, and I'm wondering if I can't recall if he was one that actually came down pit road or not.
He's one of the latest ones.
Yeah, so it might just take a little bit to get that thing going. Back up front, though, we have a battle for P2. Jacob Grant on the inside of EJ Luna. He's going to sit here and try to push that. And you see Stephen Hayes working his way back into the picture. He's wanting to get back up to that top spot to try to take another swing at the 2 of Brody Marinko after that exchange that put him back and forth. So, Jeremy, your top 4 right here, top 5, if you count Caden Bollard back there in the 18, he's starting to make a presence.
Our broadcast on Wednesday, our last broadcast, Dustin, the race winner, led 1 lap, the last one. Jacob Grant, yet to lead a lap under natural green flag competition without the pit cycles. This would be his first time leading a lap naturally. And this is going to be within 11 laps to go if he can hold on to the number 2 here. Remember, he started in 20th. And here he is battling for the race lead, trying to go back-to-back wins at Global Racing League. Gets himself cleared of Brody Marinko. Jacob Grant to the point.
Yeah, Jacob Grant to the point. Passing Brody Marinko. Marinko still close in tow. Stephen Hayes closing in on Brody Marinko right now. You see EJ Luna back there with the tough battle with the 18 of Caden Bollard. So this top 5 has heated up, Jeremy, with 11 laps to go as we speak right now. Battle right here. That's for P4 between Luna and Bollard.
Stephen Hayes, great recovery to put himself back into 3rd place. Almost 2nd place right now. I would keep this camera locked on these 2, though. There could be more contact. We'll find out. Right on the back bumper is the 13 to the 2. Down the back straightaway, pokes the nose. He's there. He wants to make the pass. Couldn't do it this time. So close. Trying to get him arrow loose. Could not do it that time. Dustin, if he can get around him quickly, can he have enough time then to catch Jacob Grant?
It's going to be close. He has got to make quick work of the two of Marinko. We know that
There it
Marinko will
is.
not sit here and make it an easy pass, as those two are bumper locked right now. Going into turn 3, EJ Luna now working his way back into the picture after battling with Caden Bullard. So now this battle for P2 has turned into a 4-truck battle. You can see Matthew Escalera back there as well. It's going to be close. 8 laps to go at the Nashville Superspeedway 150.
Stephen Hayes has to figure something out here. Gets a great launch this time. Here we go. He figured it off turn 2. Does he drive it right down to the bottom, or does he go up a little bit higher naturally? Nope, he's going to drive his normal line. Clears the number 2 just like that. Corner exit looks clean. All right, fresh air on the nose of the 13. He's got 7 laps. Without having to mirror drive, the 2 gets a great launch, though, with a little bit of draft help. He's going to put him to the inside, so never mind. The 13's going to have to battle the 2 at least for one more lap. Brody, though, struggling on this run. 13 cleared once more. I think after 3 and 4, he's going to have 6 laps and then finally have that fresh track.
Yeah, he got draft help there in that high side launch from the 24 of EJ Luna. Now EJ Luna side by side with Brody Marinko. Brody falling back with 6 laps to go. This time by, he is now in a tough battle. He now lost 2 more positions, one to Luna and to Bullard. So Mark Bullard up to P4. Question is, like you said, Jeremy, does Stephen Hayes have enough time to try to catch Jacob Grant? Jacob Grant out to a 1.1 second lead over Stephen Hayes. 6 laps to go, 5 as they cross a line this time by.
The number 1, Michael Hayes, the last guy to pit before the caution, has retired from the evening. Too much damage or not enough truck control. Out of tonight's race. 5 to go here. EJ Luna, strong contention to maybe put himself in second place. He does have that final podium spot. We also got the 18, Caden Bullard, started 16th place. He's making a very late appearance here, maybe trying to go for the top 3. As long as he can keep the 2 of Brody behind him, which looks like that will be true. 4 laps to go.
4 laps to go. We had 3 wide action back here just inside that top 10 right now. You see Michael Thorpe Jr. back there. Oh, contact between Danny White and John Howard. Danny White's going to go wide, and Thorpe is going to go a 2-for-1 going through that corner after that contact. That's going to put him back into the top 10 after his contact that sent him spinning down into the grass earlier in the race. So excellent rebound for driver of the 34. Back up front, though, Jacob Grant still out to a commanding lead, Jeremy, and just driving away with clean air on the front nose. Stephen Hayes doing everything he can to chase him down, but has to be careful not to overdrive it because he can lose a position. EJ Luna right in striking distance, 2 truck lengths behind him.
He is approaching quickly. Can he get there for second place? We know Jacob Grant has the thing all but locked up. He's got 2.66 miles left in this race to get the job done. EJ Luna, no ground made up that time off of turn 4 to the 13. Into turn number 1, this is where EJ has been a little bit stronger. And he gets a little bit lower entry, widens out the corner a little bit nicer. So he gets a little more advantage to the 13, but it's just not enough time.
Yeah, not enough time. He's running out 2 laps to go as Jacob Grant crosses the line this time. Shane Wielden now in a battle with the 43 of Matt Escalera right now. That is for P6. Brody Marinko hard into the wall. So handling of that truck really starting to go away, Jeremy. I don't know if he did 4 tires, 2 tires on that last stop, but his handling just does not seem to be where it was at last time. Jacob Grant, white flag in the air as he's working his way through right now, Jeremy. He has this thing locked up.
Back-to-back wins belongs to the driver, the number 19. Jacob Grant wins the Nashville Super Speedway event for race number 12 of the Global Racing League Truck Series. Jacob Grant, go get you some. First repeat winner of the season. Well earned late in the going, made all the right calls on pit road, drove a hell of a race, and he had a little bit of assistance from the 13 and the 2 to ship Stephen Hayes back because Stephen Hayes had the thing all locked up for the most part speed-wise, but Jacob just able to get the job done.
Not first repeat winner. We've had 2
Was
repeat
that
winners.
first repeat?
So this is the
They had a 10
this is the first back-to-back winner.
I am fired. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Repeat. If you look at StatCom, repeat winner. Yeah, back to back. I guess that's the more correct term. There we go. Honestly, I didn't think we had a second back to back, but here we go. Jacob Grant's going to do his burnout. If you watched Wednesday's broadcast, I don't know how you call out someone who hits the. Whoa, we got close there. But he's not sending that thing back up, and there you go. And unofficial results time, presented by Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles. And Jacob Grant, P1, Stephen Hayes in second. EJ Luna is your top 3 podium finishers. 4th is Caden Bullard. 5th through 10th is Brody Marinko, Shane Wheeldon, Matthew Escalera, Stephen Knight, Ricky Hudgens, and Michael Thorpe Jr. 11th through 15th is Abram Ghostin, Bobby Mantle, Danny White, Justin LeBlanc, Don Blazier. 16th through 20th, Mark Sherwood, Anthony Emmerich, Dustin Franklin, Jonathan Gaston, and John Howard. 21st through 25th, Callum Bailey, Joshua Altus, Patrick Gettner, Michael Hayes, and Noah Tansman. And then the rest of the field, Kenny Heath, Jacob Kaplan, Jeff Weimer, and Chuck Cobb. 29 entries into this race. We got 3 to talk to. We're going to go full screen for just a moment, gather them up, and then we'll be right back. And post-race show presented by Victory Field. We got our top 3. We're going to bring them on in and take some time to talk to them. First and foremost, 3rd place finisher, the 24, EJ Luna. Congrats, man, on the podium, top 3.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Good drive on your part. Started 4th, ended 3rd. I think you did not leave the top 10 at all. Maybe even through the pit road cycle of green flag stops in the back half of the race. But relatively clean race, man. And so how'd you prepare for tonight, and how'd you get top 3?
Yeah, that was a real battle. I was just trying to keep up with the guys up front. I don't know. I just try to not push too hard, wait for them to come back to me. It's unfortunate all the cautions that flew, changed up the strategy, but somehow we still pulled out that P3.
Yeah, you had some the moments in the race where I thought maybe you'd contend for the race lead and have a good chance at it. Was that just you just kind of not holding back so much, or was just moments where maybe a setup change or a driver change on your end benefited your truck more than others?
Yeah, I think some people were just pushing it too hard, and I was just trying to stay disciplined. That last green flag pit stop, I was hoping it would go all the way, but that caution came out and just changed up everything. It was going to be a close battle between me and Steven, but sometimes it doesn't work out the way you want it to, and that's just racing.
And that said best. Just racing here, especially at Nashville, man. Well, great job, P3 tonight. Strong performance all night long here. As we look forward to Michigan, what's your chances next week?
I feel pretty good. We'll see how it goes. Um, yeah, just got to stay disciplined and make it to the end.
All right, man. Any final shout-outs before we let you go?
Hey, thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, everybody that's tuned in, all the followers. You guys are amazing. We'll see you around next time.
Appreciate you, EJ. Driver that finishes third place tonight. Have a good rest of your night, sir.
Thank you, fellas. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too. EJ Luna, P3, and now second place up on the docket here, the number 13. Probably the fastest driver overall tonight. Stephen Hayes, congrats on second place.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. There's this two ways this interview is going to go. Either you're going to be cool, calm, and collective, or might have a little venting. Either way, it is deserved. You started second. You probably had the thing won. You had like half the laps led, I think, and then you had some moments of greatness. Sometimes you had to fight back a little bit. Walk us through that last restart between you and the two.
So, on that caution, I absolutely tweaked up my car, and it was on rails. Like it was going. I don't know, man. We went into one, coming out of two, my car started sliding up, and I was like, that's not good. And then Brody got underneath me, and I was like, man, that's really not good. And then we went through 3 and 4 fine, and I was keeping up, and then unfortunately, I mean, I'm not blaming EJ at all. He made the move. It was, the right thing to do. He went low, keeping Brody up in the middle. I thought I had more room, but I kind of made contact with Brody. I thought I had more room. That sent me up to the wall, and I was pissed. But, stuck with it, got second. Can't be too mad.
Yeah, still a great performance and finish. Second place, can't hate on that. Walk us through how the race kind of played out. I saw some trucks trying the second, even third lane. I didn't think a third lane was even possible. Some were able to make a great run on the outside, especially turn 2. Did you have any mobility in your truck to maybe poke yourself to the second or third lane and keep some speed?
Definitely the second. If I got caught in traffic or like I was working Thorpe earlier in the race, I had to use that second lane, or else you just get that arrow push, and you can't go nowhere with that. But I mean, if you're running third lane, you have to set your car up for that. No setups to run that lane, but hey, if they can make that work, they can make that work. But I mean, Val and Thorpe kind of figure out how hard you can push. But then once I got clean air, I knew that sticking to the bottom was the way to go, which worked wonders for me. But I don't know, you run bottom for so long, you start moving up to the middle lane, it just doesn't feel right. And kind of working that last restart, kind of what happened to me. Working that middle didn't feel too right, and I couldn't pull ahead like I should have. But I mean, mostly running the bottom, trying to save them tires is key here.
Yeah, 100% there, dude. Well, congrats on strong run. Did great. Michigan's next week. How do you feel about that place?
I mean, Michigan can go either way. That's basically a Superspeedway, and you're just hoping to have luck and praying to God that you can have a good finish there. But I mean, I'm always decent. I'd say I'm pretty decent everywhere, but Michigan, I think everyone's decent there, so I got a good chance. So I mean, really is just see what happens when the race comes.
Yes, sir. We'll see it happen all next week. Any shout-outs before we let you go?
As always, shout out my team, Lone Star, EJ, Justin, Mark, and Dustin. Good bunch of boys to race with. EJ killed it, getting a third place, so big shout out to him. Shout out to Kimberly. I know she's watching. Other than that, I don't really got too much. You guys up in the booth, thank you for broadcasting these races. It's just a blast, and you guys do a great job.
Thank you for the kind words, Steven. Second place tonight. Go get him next week. Maybe we'll talk to you as your race winner.
Appreciate it, brother.
Yes, sir. All right, now it's time to load up the victory lane scene. We're going to bring in our first, got that auto-corrected, back-to-back winner of the 2025 season, Jacob Grant. Congratulations, dude.
Appreciate it, man. Feels good.
Yeah, 20th place starting. Wasn't sure you're going to perform. You kind of worked your way up quickly, and then some things fell your way, and you took advantage of it. So how were you able to fight through traffic, make adjustments, and find yourself where you're at?
I think honestly I made an adjustment every single time I stopped. I just kept messing with my air pressures to find that long run speed because it seemed like tonight we were having some really good long green flag runs there, and um, cautions kept falling at awkward times, and right when you were starting to, whenever I was starting to reel people in or making good moves in the long run, a caution would fall, and then it wouldn't be too bad because I had already gained so many positions. So every time a caution fell, I'd already gained a few positions on track. So it just helped me out every single time. And there at the end, um, I decided to make a strategy call when everybody pit with 35 to 40 laps to go. I decided to stay until 30 laps to go and 5 laps. So luckily that last caution came out and I was able to capitalize on it and had the best truck out there after that.
Yeah, 10-4 on that, dude. This is gonna tighten up that points battle. I'm just looking at it on my monitor here. You're 26 points out entering the Sing over or under Bobby Mantle now, as he finishes 12th. You tie him for 6 top fives, which is the most of the active roster. So how you feeling mid-season form? You're looking strong, dude.
I feel like a championship contender, honestly. I hope we can get out there and get a championship for Grim Reaper Motorsports and bring it home for myself as well. And just plan on winning a few more races and seeing how it goes. It's going to be tough battling my teammate Bobby, but I think we can do it. I think we can pull it off.
3 down, many more to go. Jacob Grant, any shout outs before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, first I'd like to thank my girlfriend Caitlin for watching. She's actually here at the house today and watching on her phone. She immediately came running to me telling me good job as soon as I finished. So thank you to her. Love you. Thanks to Bobby for inviting me over to Grim Reaper, and it's been just feet on the ground and running ever since. We've got 2 wins back to back now. It's third on this season, so it's been really fun. I've learned a lot from those guys over there. JJ McCoy, he doesn't race with us anymore, but I've learned a few things from him, especially at this track, racing in official races and just following him and learning a few things. And Bobby teaches me a lot all the time. Every time I talk to him, he's teaching me something new, or I'm just learning something new. He may not be trying to teach me, but I'm just paying attention and learning from him. So thanks to those guys over at Grim. Thanks to everybody who runs Global and everybody who races in it for showing up every single week. And it's been a blast. It's been fun. So, yep, thank you. And thank you guys for broadcasting. It's always great to go back and watch, and it gives my fans and people who like to support me somewhere to watch me race. So, thank you.
Appreciate those words there, Jacob. Winner of tonight's race for the Nashville 150, man. Go celebrate. Have a good night. We'll see you next week at Michigan.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, that's your winner for tonight. The third time this year the 19 has scored a victory. Justin, what a race at Nashville. Is a much better race than I've seen here at previous.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, it was a good race. A lot of hard fought battles. The incidents that took place. I mean, majority of them were handling issues. Bouncing off the wall, back down into trucks and stuff like that. Because it's not an easy hit. I mean, you come flying off a turn 4, turn 2, and hit that wall. It literally torpedoes your truck the opposite direction just by, sheer force and physics. So, overall, we heard the, couple drivers, I think it was EJ Luna, say that, it was kind of a bummer on all the cautions, but the cautions weren't super big. We didn't see a lot of torn up trucks or anything else. We seen more of the damage we would see at like a Darlington, from wall scraping it, or a Dover from wall scraping it, more than anything else. A couple trucks had to back out because of damage, but overall, it's a tough track to run. It's a tough track to pass at. And I think these drivers did a fantastic job. We had 2-3 wide racing all over the place. So, it's long green flag runs. It was good. We seen green flag pit stops. So, fantastic. I can't wait to see what these drivers can do at the home of Icon Apparel Company, Michigan, as we visit that next week.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. Semi-pack racing, but of course it also races like a traditional mile and a half. So it'll be a great venue to watch these trucks go around. Next Sunday, catch it live, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. And we have a couple more broadcasts along the way this week. We're going to go next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday for OP Butt Kicker Grand National Series, and then we're going ARCA racing on Thursdays. Me and Colt be in the booth. Dustin's gonna press all the buttons that night, so it'll be fun once more. But you guys, Sunday evening, go have some fun the rest of the night. Go not enjoy work tomorrow. As you know, Monday is Monday. So till then, stay safe. Get your nerd on. Dustin, what you got for him?
As always, it's not goodbye. It's just till next time. Stay nerdy.
Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue, we fell into play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter, there were times when there was joy, but they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our whole new world. All the lion tried to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand we did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning, this is your sign that you can't go running high. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our whole new world. All the lions tried to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a